Hi, from the Office of Academics. This is an HMH materials overview intended for our kinder through third grade PLCs. During this session, our goal is to help you understand the structure and components of the district-approved HMH Foundational Skills Literacy block. Through this, we will be understanding the instructional approach of HMH Foundational Skills lessons, exploring the structure of a foundational skills lesson, and investigating what resources are available for whole group and small group foundational skills instruction. The HMH foundational skills are grounded in the science of teaching reading. They follow the structured literacy framework with explicit instruction direct to your classroom. There's a systematic scope and sequence that moves from simple to complex, with a focus on language comprehension and word recognition tying together to develop skilled reading. It follows the 5 pillars of reading, including phonemic awareness, phonics, fluency, vocabulary, and comprehension. Each of the phonics instructional pieces are delivered in an explicit and systematic way with a gradual release of responsibility using an I do, we do, you do format. Each of the foundational skills lessons includes word work warm-ups, high-frequency word practice, phonological awareness, alphabet knowledge for kindergarten, phonics, spelling and handwriting instruction, fluency practice, and reading a decodable text. These are laid out in a 5-lesson format for each week. The HMH Foundational Skills Program follows a scope and sequence that's laid out for each grade level. The beginning weeks follow some revision from the previous grade and follow through the entire scope and sequence of the year. The academics department has provided some recommended schedules for delivering foundational skills and lessons. Each day we've allotted for 30 minutes of foundational skills practice. Kinder through second has 150 minutes of their language arts block, and third and fourth have 120 minutes for their language arts block in the general education classroom. 30 minutes of that would be used for the foundational skills lessons. In dual language, kinder, first, second, and third grade have differing minutes between their Spanish language arts and their English language arts and social studies blocks. In kindergarten, 150 minutes are in Spanish, 30 minutes are English and social studies. First grade, dual language, 150 minutes of Spanish language arts and 30 minutes of English language arts and social studies. Second grade, 135 minutes of Spanish language arts and 45 minutes of English language arts and social studies. And third grade, 95 minutes of Spanish language arts, and 55 minutes of English language arts and social studies. In the dual language classroom, the 30 minutes of foundational skills would be split between the 2 languages. Let's look at foundational skills in kindergarten more specifically. The routines and instruction from HMH follow the formats that include alphabet knowledge practice, phonological awareness practice, phonics, word work, high-frequency words, and looking at decodable text. In grades 1 and 2, these are expanded a little bit to include high-frequency words, phonological awareness, phonics, fluency, spelling, reading decodable text, and some differentiated spelling. In grade 3, we see a reduction in some of the foundational skills to include mostly decoding, spelling, fluency, and high-frequency words. When we walk through the teacher's editions of each of the grade levels, we'll notice a pattern that we call the purple pages. The purple pages are coded because they're purple on the side and include lessons for each of the pieces of the foundational skills literacy block. There are 3 to 4 pages of foundational skills listed in the teacher's edition for each day's lesson. You'll notice at the top side of each title, there's a little clock that indicates the length of time that optimally you would spend on that portion of the foundational skills block. For example, I see the high frequency words portion should take around 5 minutes to do. The phonological awareness, which is the second piece, should also take around 5 minutes to do. When you're accessing the foundational skills purple pages, you will also have access to the clicked link outs for word cards, the know it, show it pages, and the picture cards. As we move through the foundational skills lessons, you'll notice next comes the phonics piece, which is around 10 minutes. This part explicitly lists the I do, we do, you do portion and includes articulation videos for our English learner support. The last piece is a spelling piece and a handwriting piece. You'll notice this piece takes around 10 minutes to do, to teach the spelling and model the handwriting. There's always some sort of activity included, like in this instance, a word sort. Farther into the teacher edition pages, there are pieces in the reading workshop that include reinforcing the foundational skills. In this case, it's reading the decodable text, which could be done in partners, at a station, or with the teacher at a small group. If you have time right now, you could take a moment to go explore your foundational skills pages from your teacher's edition and think about some of the instructional routines that you would need to know. For example, looking at heart words is a routine that's included every week in your instructional routines. So once we start looking at what the lessons are, we also need to know what we have. The instructional materials that arrived on your campuses in August and that are available for all students are the instructional card kits for every teacher in K through 2, the decodable readers or the Start Right readers included for grades K through 2, the Know It, Show It workbooks in grades K through 3. If you're a dual language teacher, you received these materials in both English and in Spanish. Let's look at each of the materials independently. In kindergarten, you received an instructional card kit that includes alphabet, picture, letter, and word cards. If you haven't gotten an opportunity to, you should open these up and explore the different cards. There are many different ways you could organize these cards for use in your classroom. In grades 1 and 2, your instructional card kits look a little bit differently than the kindergarten ones. They include sound spelling cards, letter, word, and picture cards. In kindergarten, your decodable readers in English, your Start Right readers, have 9 volumes per student. These are included as 2 texts per week with 8 texts per book. In grades 1 and 2, your decodable readers, you have 6 books per set per student. Neither one of these Start Right readers are consumable, so keep them to use year after year. Your Know It, Show It workbooks are consumable. These are included for grades K through 3 and have aligned independent practice. Each Know It, Show It workbook page set, each module for the Know It, Show It workbook pages includes 10 pages of practice that align to that module in the HMH Into Reading or Arriba la Lectura program. 5 of those pages are specifically aligned to the foundational skills piece. After you look at your physical materials, you can also look at your digital materials. The daily lesson slides are included for each lesson that include additional foundational instruction opportunities for whole group or small group. Some teachers who may be overwhelmed by looking at the Teacher's Edition will enjoy using the daily lesson slides, which also include scripted lessons for each day. The lesson slides are provided in PowerPoint or through Google Slides, and the presenter instructions include scripted lessons for each slide. I hope that this quick short screencast included the information that you needed to get started with HMH Foundational Skills Literacy lessons. Please take a moment to reflect on what you learned and click through the slideshow yourself to access any of the links inside and get more information. Thank you.